It's a blessing to welcome on maybe the hottest player in the entire country right now. He's been averaging 25 points, 8 rebounds over the past 3 games since starting for Temple. And that's Khalif Battle. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Well, take us through this right now. We know obviously no one wants an injury or anything to happen, but this presents an opportunity for you to come out right now. You're putting together a 30-point game, 25 plus you're averaging right now. Take us through what it's been like just getting this opportunity right now and really taking advantage of it.
Um, Honestly, I haven't really thought much of it. Really, I'm just thinking about like how I can, help my team win. Right now, I'm taking on the role of really just doing everything: scoring, defending, rebounding. So I also been rebounding a lot lately. So whatever I can do to win, that's really what I'm trying to do.
This has been a rocky year for the whole program in terms of COVID. You guys were out for the first month or so of the season. You were out until January. This only been about 4 weeks of you playing now because you also dealing with your hamstring injury. How have you guys been able to get together, dealing with injuries, COVID? How's it been just trying to get together and get kind of chemistry together?
It's been tough for real because
Mm-hmm.
all summer I've really been working on my solo. Everybody is working on it on that solo. We only had a when we got here, we also had to take a 2 week break. Then we finally got back in the gym, but we was doing like individual workouts, so we didn't get to really have team practices. Then when the season started, we practiced for a few weeks, probably like 2 3 weeks. Then we got shut down again. Then I got hurt, so I was out for about 3 months, and then the week we played Tulane was like my basically my first day really back touching the basketball, and I was already playing about 25 plus minutes. So I was tired. I didn't have no wind. It felt weird even dribbling the ball again. So it was tough.
This isn't a team that's been together for a long time. Obviously, a lot of you guys have been all just coming together. You transferred out from Butler, come out here, and you also had a bunch of freshmen on this team too. So what's it just kind of been like getting used to these guys? Obviously, you guys are going to be together now for 2, 3, 4 years. How has it just been like kind of getting to know these guys and this kind of this young core that's forming now?
It's great. I mean, if the outside world can't see it already, I think we have a really talented young core group. This is really like my freshman year. I
Hmm.
mean, I had a freshman year last year, but I didn't really get to experience much. I learned from the guys ahead of me. I played on a team that was at once number 5 in the country, so we were good. So I just took whatever I could learn from the older guys there that were successful and try to apply them here at Temple.
We're going to get back into Temple in a little bit, but let's kind of go through your story a little bit because you've been a top level player for a while now. You're from New Jersey, so let's go back there. Take us through that. So it was going up there. Obviously, you're originally out of St. Joseph, and you play with your brother Tyus. Take us through what that time was like.
That was the most fun time really playing basketball in a while. Uh, I wish I always tell my brother I wish we could have played. I wish we were like a little bit closer in the age so we could have played together. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
I think me and him complete each other. We're like opposites. And, I think we would have definitely been able to take over New Jersey if we were, close to the same age.
I know this is going a little bit advanced, but we know Syracuse obviously was heavily recruiting you throughout your time. Was that something ever that you really did look at? Would it have been something to possibly continue the family name? Was that ever something that was appealing to you?
It was. I was at Syracuse probably every weekend, honestly. Um, I loved how close it was to home. I loved Coach Boeheim and Coach Red and the coaching staff, Coach Hop, all those guys. And then I loved the team. So it was hard, but I really just wanted my own name. I was tired of always being Ty's little brother,
Mhm.
so I needed to get out that shadow and just be my own person.
As scared as you two could have been together, you still get to see him kind of go through his journey. He's gone through the recruiting process. You got to see him do that. You saw him work through college life, obviously going through pro life now. How much of an impact has it been just being able to kind of learn from a guy that is really doing each level and each step that you want to do eventually?
It's been everything. I get to learn from those mistakes. I get a firsthand look at what to do and what not to do. So, I'm just learning and enjoying it. It's basically just like being on the court. You just learn and get to experience things that not a lot of people get to experience. So, all you can do is just, take in what you can and try to apply it for the betterment of yourself.
When you look back at you guys hanging out together, playing games on the court, at practices, whatever it might look like, what's some of the favorite memories that come to your mind when you first think about Tyus?
I mean, you guys probably look at Ty as like he's a nice kid, but Ty is, I mean, he's a good kid. But to me, he's not like that. Like to me, it's like, man, like we play a 1-on-1 right now. He's not trying to let me score. He's fouling. If I'm going, he will do anything to make sure I don't score. He'll foul me. He'll do whatever. talking
Mhm.
crazy. On the court, you sometimes you get that guy, you know.
Mhm.
But when it comes to me, it's like he turns into a whole different level to make sure that everybody knows in the gym that who the better brother is. So
Now, when you guys do play one-on-one, have you got any wins on him yet? And if so, how often are those?
like two in my life. Like two in my life. I'll be honest, like now, I don't know. Maybe now I might be able to get one. Like now it'll be a close game for sure. But then he's got it. And now he'll probably still win. He's probably still win. He's better than me right now. You know, he's a professional basketball player. But,
Hmm.
you know, when I get to that point, then, you know, I'll be beating him soon though. Real soon I'll be beating him.
When's the last time you guys played one-on-one?
This summer.
Hmm.
This summer. I mean, when he's home, that's all we do. We go to the gym, we work out, we get shots up, ball handling, and straight to one-on-ones.
Now, he's
So
not the only person in your family that has basketball experience. Your dad also played, was an All-American. Now, your stepmom also played at Miami. How's it just been like kind of growing up in just a basketball family?
uh it's great. It's great. I got my little sister. She's 12. She's playing basketball now. She's getting real good. You know, everybody plays basketball in my family. You know, even though I got the uncles coming over, they're still competitive. Everybody's competitive. You know, when we're in the back trying to play one-on-one, everybody's trying to prove that they still got it. So everybody in the family is competitive, and everybody always brags about their stats and what they did. So it makes it harder for me. That's how I'm chasing. I want to be. If I'm the best in my family, I got the best stats and the best. Uh, I got the best things to show, then I'll be happy. I
Do you
need
guys,
bragging rights.
do you guys have like some family tournaments then? Family 3-on-3 games?
Used to, not anymore. My dad's a little older now. He still tries to get out there and play though,
Hmm.
but it ain't the same as it used to be though.
No doubt. Well, I said earlier, you're from New Jersey. That's where you play, and that's really one of the meccas of basketball. We know it's one of the most elite places, especially when you're a guard like yourself. What's it just been like being in that environment where you know whoever you're playing against is probably someone that's going to be an elite guy, going Division 1, or just has that dog mentality? What's it like growing up out there?
It's tough. Whether you go to a park, whether you go to an open gym, somebody's always trying to take a spot and come at you, make you look crazy. Especially because in Jersey, Jersey's so hyped up now that you got cameras and everywhere you go. So
Mhm.
if you getting killed on camera, it's definitely going to be somewhere on social media. You don't want to look bad. So everywhere you go, you got to be ready to play. Really in Jersey, I think that they have the best players in the country. I think the last couple of years have definitely proved that, and you know, the young guys right now are doing their thing also. You got Simeon, Wizard Catholic, you got some guys like Gil, you got some guys at Trenton Catholic, you got some guys everywhere. So yeah, Jersey's always gonna be good, obviously.
When you're growing up, who was that guy that you rather like going up against, like watching at the parks or at the games and all? Like, who was that point guard from New Jersey area that you really kind of looked up to a degree, or you just thought was probably one of the best guys you ever went up against?
Kyrie.
Hmm.
I used to go to the Roadrunners practice when my brother played for the Roadrunners.
Mm.
And Kyrie was still in high school. And Kyrie's dad used to have me play Sandy. And Sandy used to have me play Kyrie with his left hand only in a one-on-one. And I do everything I still couldn't stop him. He had a left hand. So that's really my Kyrie story. He used to beat me one-on-one with his left hand. He had his right hand tied behind his back, still won. So
And we hear stories about some of the greats that do different stuff like that. And that's someone that I think we all know is incredibly underrated. He's one of the best point guards, if not the best point guard in the NBA. How special is it that when you just get to watch a guy that's that special, that crafty, that's kind of special with their craft? What's it just like watching that?
I don't even have words to describe what type of level he's on. So, I mean, really, it's just it feels good to know that like you seen somebody go through do all that hard work and how it just pays off for them. So really, that's everybody's dream to be like Kyrie Irving, to be like James Harden, to be like but not everybody's gonna be born like LeBron James. So. I mean, the workers at small, you see guys like Steph Curry and stuff like that, and you see what type of players they are. So that just means everything.
I have to ask you this though. Obviously, the Nets are from New Jersey originally. They're in Brooklyn. They have Kyrie obviously on that team too. Is that who you're rocking with, or is there another team you rock with?
I don't have a team. I was a Kobe fan. I
Mm.
am a Kobe fan. Kobe's my Michael Jordan. So I'm
Mm.
always gonna rock with Jersey. So yeah, I'm rocking with the Nets.
Absolutely. Well, we kind of go through this transfer. Then you take a move. Obviously, Tyus goes to Syracuse, and you really start your own journey. Then you start creating your own legacy at Trenton. Take us to that move though. Why is that the school you wanted to start your own legacy at?
At Trenton Catholic, well, because I noticed that everybody, to me, it was like I feel like in high school basketball, it's easy to put a lot of really good high school basketball players on one team and win. I feel like everybody was going to the Roosevelt Catholics, everybody was going to the Patrick schools, everybody's going to the Hudsons. I wanted to do something different. You never heard of a New Jersey kid go to Trenton Catholic or somewhere in the South before. So, and I always felt like if I can win there, then I can win anywhere. So, I never really got a chance to win there. I won a county, which was big for my school. So, I mean, that's really what it was. I'd never been the type to go to where the hype was, So I did that, and I've been proud of the decision I made.
There's one teammate you had that's a pretty special player. Now we're starting to see him pan out. That's Jameer. Take us through your guys' bond. What was it like just playing with him and now seeing him about his dream?
It's great because when I first met Jameer had all the time in the world, and he loved basketball, but he just didn't know how to really like work hard yet, And then after school every day, he used to stay after with me, and we used to work out, and his game just took off. And then I noticed that I don't have to be in the gym anymore, and he'll be there before I get there sometimes, or he'll stay after when I'm leaving. So like, I think it's gonna be special. I think he really has a chance to to be a pro one day, and I think that his focus and dedication to the game is going to take him far.
Maybe the most incredible stat part about your entire high school career is that you still hit the 1,000 point mark, even with you missing your entire sophomore year. How are you able to produce at that high of a clip while still even missing your sophomore year and still reaching 1,000 points?
My coaches there really just told me, just do what you do. Same thing they say at Temple. Honestly, looking back, I wish I could have played my sophomore year because I probably would have had 2,000. But it's cool. Things happened. I learned a lot from that. That summer, I had a really good summer on the AAU circuit. So, I mean, I just learned a lot, and I'm happy I went through that.
When you hit that 1,000 point mark, take us to that night. What was it like? Just take us to that whole night and how it all went down.
I wanted to get it the game before at home. We played in Rancocas Valley, and I think I was like 50 points away, but I had to sit out the fourth quarter because we were up. I was kind of upset because I wanted to get it at home, and then I got it against St. Benedict's. I think I had like 18 in the first half or something like that, so I can get it, and I ended up getting it. I felt real good, so I was happy. My mom was there. That meant everything to see my mom there. My AAU coach was there. It felt good. My friends were there. It felt good.
Let's get into this college recruitment process because, as I said, you were a 4-star top 100 prospect. Had offers from a lot of different schools on the table. We mentioned Syracuse earlier. Obviously, Miami was in play for you. You choose Butler, though. Why was that the school you felt comfortable with, and why is that the original decision you made?
I believed in what my dad, had high hopes for Butler. And I trust everything my dad does. I mean, he led me this far. So my mom really loved the school also academically. And the coaching staff, we were familiar with them because of my brother originally committed to Michigan. So we already knew them. And my dad and my parents were comfortable with the decision. And once they're happy, I'm happy. So I decided to go to Butler.
Do you remember back then who was your number 2 option? Who else were you really heavily considering?
I loved UConn. I loved Rutgers. I loved Miami. I liked Ohio State. I did like Temple, Seton Hall. I really like everybody was recruiting. Indiana, Wake Forest. I liked Syracuse, of course. Like it was no really like real number 2. It's just that like everybody, in my mind at the time, I thought everybody was even Butler. I didn't get to visit every single school. I think I took a visit to like UCLA, USC, Virginia, and then Butler and Rutgers. I didn't really give everybody time. So, well, in retrospect, maybe I would have done the same thing. But I'm happy how things worked out. So,
if you go back in time, would you still have gone to Butler because you learned some stuff there? You'd say, or would you say if you could go back, you would have went to Temple earlier, or even went somewhere else?
I wouldn't change life. I went. I think I made a lot of great relationships at Butler that I would never trade for the world. nothing really went bad on the court. It really just wasn't a fit school wise and how far it was away from home. So I love being around my family, and the fact that I couldn't see them all the time, it killed me inside. So Temple was a great move, and I was already comfortable with Coach McKie because he recruited me out of high school. So it was the perfect fit for me.
And that's when you enter your name in the transfer portal and you go to Temple. Was there anything else you were really considering, or was Temple just kind of by far that school that you knew you wanted to go to?
Yeah. Clemson, Nebraska, Georgia, Hofstra, and LaSalle were the main schools I was really considering.
And so you choose Temple, and this was Coach's really his first recruiting class. He obviously was there last year, but you got to put all these pieces together. We mentioned this young Corey build up. How are you able to trust that? What kind of led you to say, I'm going to trust Temple, even though this is his first recruiting class, it's his first time? Like, how are you able to trust this program and his system?
Coach is a success himself. So
Mm-hmm.
I can never question somebody who's successful. Ultimately, he did for a bunch of years what I'm trying to do. You're talking about somebody who played against Kobe, LeBron,
Mm-hmm.
Clyde Drexler, all those type of guys, and went to NBA Finals. So everything he says is like you can't argue it. You just got to take it, listen to it, and try to apply it to the court. So everything he said, I really just try to soak it in and learn as much as I can from him.
That's something I know a lot of guys have really appealed to them, having a coach that's done what they want, and that's the NBA, rather be especially a guy at their position. How
Mm-hmm.
attractive was that to you? Just being able to learn from a guy that's done it, what you really want to do down the road.
Everything, you know, like I just try to pay attention to what he says. Like just not even just on the court, off the court also. Has a lot of experience just through life. He's not old, but he's an older guy now. He has experience with just life and being a dad and being probably doing business and being an entrepreneur and all that. So, you know, as much as I can learn from him, I will. But I can't say that I just chose Temple just for Coach McKie.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the coaches. All the coaches are role models for me and people I look up to and try to model my image. After this, I really do want to be a coach.
Mm.
So I love basketball. They love basketball. So it was a perfect fit. Perfect move.
Let's go into that real quick then. You just mentioned obviously you want to be a coach someday. Kind of take us
Mm-hmm.
through that dream. When is that something you started realizing? Is that something you want to do after your career or something? Like, kind of take us through that dream.
I always wanted to be. I always loved basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Since I can remember, I'll train kids for free. Uh, I just love the process of working out. I love watching basketball. My dad told me I was a little too obsessed with basketball that I gotta learn that to like other things. So, but I just love basketball. I don't know what it is. I can't imagine life without basketball. And I hopefully I can affect kids' lives in a positive way, like people in the past have affected mine. So I would love to be a coach one day.
Would you want it to be more AU, high school wise, college, pro? Like, what kind of level are you looking at?
Honestly, I don't want to be an AU coach. I'd rather be a I'd rather be I'd rather be a college coach or maybe a high school coach.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely mostly I like the college coach. I
Mm-hmm.
like the college. I like college.
When you talk about Coach McKie, how's your bond grown? And clearly, I mean, learn to trust you obviously is what you're able to do right now. But how has your bond grown over the past now 6, 7, 8 months of just being around him more and more?
It's grown a lot. I had to mature fast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, really just him just having trust, and I also have to have trust in him that he knows what he's talking about. So I think us just building trust with each other and being around each other more really just helped the relationship out. And it's going to continue. It's going to continue to blossom over time. So, I don't think I'm even near the player he wants me to be yet, or he thinks I can be. So, I can't even imagine what he sees for me because he talks about it all the time. But he sees it before I can see it right now. So I'm just gonna keep on working. And hopefully, I can make him proud. And I just want to win as much as possible, just like he does. And I want to get to school. And well, all the guys here, we all want to get the school back to where it was. When he was playing, and when Coach Macon was here, and they're number one in the country. We want to get back to when Temple was on top, basically.
Over the course of this year so far, you're averaging 15, 5, and 2. But as I mentioned, you're really hot right now, one of the more hot players in the entire country. 25 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists right now with the past 3 games starting. Is that something you think you can sustain? Can we expect that for the rest of the season and especially going to your junior year next year? Or is that something you think you could possibly drop down a little bit?
Oh, I'll never say I could not do something.
Mm-hmm.
So me, I'm gonna say I could do it. Whatever. Really, I'm just gonna say whatever it takes to win. I don't care if I have 2 points, and we're winning by 20. I'm happy with the win. So whatever we could do to win, like I said before, we just want to get back to where Temple was on top. So if that means that I gotta take a smaller role and do whatever we got to do to win, that's just what it's going to have to be.
When Damian does get healthy, do you think you guys are gonna be? Can we start seeing you guys start together, start having that dynamic duo form as a starting lineup, or can you go back down to being that 6 man kind of scoring guy? Where's Coach kind of talk to you about that role?
Honestly, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Coach was 6 man. He was successful as a 6 man. He was 6 man of the year. So if I had to be 6 man, that's perfectly fine. I'm not a selfish player. Like I said, whatever we have to do to win. When Dame comes back, I can't wait to play with him again. So when Dame comes back, he's back in that starting lineup. Then he's gonna have to be the same killer he was when he was in the starting lineup. If Coach wants me being the starting lineup, then I'm just gonna have to be the same killer. It don't matter. At the end of the day, we all play damn near the same minutes, and we check in, and we're still trying to win. So that's really all that matters.
When hopefully this year you guys have a whole summer where you guys can adjust, practice together, a normal season next year with no injuries. But when we get you, we get Damian, we get Quincy, we get Jeremiah, we get this whole young group together now for next year, the following year, however long you guys can stay together. What's all the things you guys can accomplish and really do next year together?
It can be scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is. It really can be scary. I think you give me, Dave, Jay Will, Quincy, you give Nick a summer to just prepare and all that other. You give these guys a summer to prepare, and we hit in the weight room and we working on the games all day and just bonding with each other.
Mm-hmm.
It could be scary. I think we got a lot of talent on this team. I never really felt like this about a team before. We got a lot of talent. And I think we have great coaches that care. And I think Temple could be scary in the future, for real.
Absolutely, man. Well, a few more things before I let you go. One of which is your game. We do know you're 6'5", you're a big guard, you're super long, lengthy, you still have a lot more room to grow. What's the ceiling for you? Where kind of player can we expect you to kind of grow into now over the next few years?
Uh, Sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all I can say. Sky's the limit. As long as you work hard, anything is possible. I think I have the ability go as far as I want with this basketball thing. Especially if I trust in my coaches and my teammates, and they're gonna help me just like I want to help them maximize their ability.
One of the most recent games, 30 points, 10 rebounds, first play in Temple history since Mark Jackson did it. What was that night like?
It didn't even feel like it didn't even, I don't know. It didn't really feel like anything crazy. I was so mad we lost.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, it didn't even matter. Now, if we would have won it, I would have been like, okay, well, that's pretty cool. But we lost. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like I just want to win next game. That was my mindset, honestly.
You have something in your bio, love me before they all do. Take us what that means and why you have that there.
I had that there because a lot of people, when you down, nobody really cares about you.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you start making some noise, now everybody wants to be your biggest fan. So my thing is, if you're gonna love me, don't make no U-turns. How you feel is how you feel. Don't while I'm being successful, don't try to be my friend now. That's really just how I feel about that. That's my logo. That's my logo. That's my thing.
And any athlete obviously has a lot of pressure and can have supporters, haters, and all that throughout their life. You obviously have had a higher platform for most of your life now too. How have you learned to kind of stay locked in, stay focused, and kind of keep your circle tight and not really allow the people to kind of influence you in a bad way or just kind of even affect you?
Honestly, the hater, I don't even care. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't got no haters, I guess you're not doing something right. So a lot of people are gonna hate. I don't care. At the end of the day, I'm still gonna be me. I'm still gonna try to be the best person, best child of God, best basketball player, best family man, best son, best brother I could possibly be. So, man, all that stuff is all out the window. That's just somebody that's still taking the time out their day to talk to me. So, or think about me. So I don't really care about that.
No doubt, man. Well, something I was like wrapping up discussing with everyone is discussing your legacy and ultimately someday when you do step away from the game, what do you ultimately want to remember for? What do you want your legacy to be for what you achieve both on and off the court?
A competitor, a great player, a great teammate, a winner, definitely a winner, and somebody that can impact people's lives off the court. It's not really all about basketball. Basketball players always want to be the best. I'm obsessed with the game of basketball, but I just want to be a great person. I don't think how I'm a basketball player. There's a lot of basketball players that could be great on the court, but be terrible people off the court. I want to affect people's life in a positive way off the court as well, and hopefully, I inspire people on the court.
I know you're a believer, and you also have that in your bio too. John 12:46. Take us to that verse and what that means to you.
I actually got that. I got that tatted on me right here. Um, it's I have came into this world as a light, so that anyone who doesn't believe in me is left in the darkness. And that goes back to basically my quote in my bio. Let me before they all do. It's really just like there's a lot of talented people that come into this world that people don't look at, we don't pay attention to, and that they have a lot in them. They have a lot to give that's really underrated and not really looked at. So that's really just how I feel. I'm not going to be left in the darkness, though. That's how I feel.
When would you say that you really started that own personal bond with God? Like when would you say you really started relying on him, talking to him kind of more consistently? When would you say you really started forming that bond with God?
My dad and my mom really always had me go to church.
Mm-hmm.
I was at Butler last year. I used to go to church every weekend with my teammate Kamar Baldwin. My senior year in high school, I used to drive to church by myself on the weekends. So I pray to God. I used to pray to God every night. Well, I still do pray to God every night. But I don't know. I feel like none of this stuff matters unless you got God in your corner. So as long as I got God, I feel comfortable. As long as I have faith, I feel comfortable with whatever decision I make.
And we all know as an athlete or anyone that has a high platform, but especially athletes, there's temptations and stuff that's always going to come your way. How do you plan to be able to stay strong and stay in your faith? And not only just that, but also be able to spread God's light and be a light to the world throughout your career through college and pros.
Just using your platform to help others. I don't think this is like a lot of times people are too selfish. I don't want to be selfish. I want to use my platform to help others and affect those around me because just like I could be in this position, you know, maybe I could have been in a different position and somebody else could have been in this seat right here. So a lot of people are born with things that they can't control. I'm at a place in my life where I'm blessed. I'm able to control where I'm at. So just always look at things in a brighter way and look at like back then, maybe I wouldn't have been in this position. Maybe my great grades could have wanted to be in this position, but they're not. There's people across the world, kids in third world countries that want to be in this position, that have this ability and talent. So I just gotta work hard every day and affect their lives and inspire them.
Amen, man. My final thing for you, give Temple fans and just the country in general your three biggest goals you have set for the remainder of your college career.
So win the national championship, or as many as we can. Win as many national championships as we can. Win as many American Conference championships as we can, and to make Temple fans as proud of us as we can make them. That's really it.
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today, and I look forward to see what God's got next for you, man.
Appreciate that.
Of course, always welcome on, man. God bless.
Yep. God bless.